Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that?
Wasn't me, Coach. Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Get off our lawn.
Welcome to the Straight Red Card, a show where we get all lubed up and go live. When I say lubed up, I mean, we drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would be kind of gross if we got all lubed up before the show. I mean,
well, I don't know if you can hear my fan going off right now, but we had a guy come over to do with plumbing and heating, cooling, and shit like that. We had a bunch of plumbing problems.
and you got all lubed up?
No. My point was my house is currently sitting at 75 degrees and the AC is not kicking in. So by the end of the show, look like I'm lubed up just from perspirating so much.
From sweating? All right. I guess that's possible.
Well, I got the fan running. I probably won't be doing it now. But
I guess
a dry 75 heat just sitting here, the hat on, yeah, that'll probably start sweating.
I guess you might look like you might be glistening a bit, is what you're saying. And if
Definitely
that's
not
the case,
glowing. Definitely
yeah,
not glowing.
75 is going to do that to some people, especially if you're a larger mammal.
I'm of the north. This hot weather doesn't suit me.
Yeah. All right. By the way, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma. The first two are more important than the last because your grandma has about a 30% chance of liking the show. But we do need to increase the number of females who do watch this show and consume the show. I don't yet consume it. Anyhow, not to get too confused with anything else, let's read what the turd has to say. Open wide, everyone. Welcome back to the Straight Red Card. Our new manager is here. Well, interim manager. But who cares? New intro for me. BJ is here, and I'm ready to service him with my mouth. Oh, God. Well, that's pretty gross. Well, no, I mean, it's not gross inherently. As long as you find it pleasurable, that's, I guess, all that counts. And BJ does, too. I mean, hopefully you're not going to kidnap them, tie them down, and do things to them. All right. Kevin Paulette says, welcome to the Straight Red. Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Nothing needs to be said. BJ is ready to go hard. Filippo and Pete have both fallen for the troll names. They have? Filippo and Pete?
Send us those timestamps, man. We'll happily show them on here. Have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Pete and Tack don't care. I mean, they understand that if they get snagged, that they're going to go on the show, that we're going to play it live. They have a pretty decent sense of humor about it too. So,
I guess since we're talking about Pete and Filippo,
oh yeah,
Derek, have you noticed anything different about me today?
You're whiter than usual. Oh, Brett Filburn? What the fuck's going on with that?
You haven't heard?
I did not notice that, number one. I just assume it says Corbett. And number two, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Filburn?
Filburn happens to be my last name now. It is canon. It is in TSRC lore.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm kind of upset that nobody in the chat noticed it. I went for a lot of fun here. But anyways, I got a nice little video of where this comes from.
Filburn. I still have no clue what that could be. How significant would winning the U20s be? World Cup be? Okay.
I'm gonna think of some good BJ jokes. Oh yeah, Derek. You know who's really gonna have fun is Derek. Derek and how do I always forget? Derek and Brett. I'm gonna think of some good BJ jokes. Oh yeah, Derek. You know who's really gonna have fun is Derek. Derek and how do I always forget? Derek and Brett. Thank you, Brett Filburn. I'm gonna think of some good BJ jokes. Oh yeah, Derek. You know who's really gonna have fun is Derek.
I know I'm gonna have fun with it.
How do I always forget? Derek and Brett. Thank you, Brett Filburn.
Okay, that's enough. Brett Filburn. Isn't there a guy out there named Brett Filburn who's on the show?
I'm sure it is because
who comments on the show?
Who randomly comes up with the last name of Filburn? It has to be somebody's last name.
Yeah, I hope if he's commenting on Pete's show on a regular basis, he's not a
man.
fucking total moron. Because then you make our show look bad, Brett Filburn.
See, look, Derek, here you go. It was your porn comment.
Oh.
Cover that real quick.
Oh, yeah. BJ Callahan is, I'm sure this was people read this and what the fuck is he talking about? BJ Callahan is the first U.S. manager to also be a former porn star since Bora. His Naughty Nasty Nurses series is the early 90s was stellar. I can't read that, it's so small.
Hold on.
There we go. Thank you.
Master BJ himself.
To be clear, Brett was not directing and filming porn yet in the early 90s, so Brett had no part in the series. Yeah, you would have been like 12. I was in college, so those were good porn years for me.
Yeah, I was going to reply to this, but I didn't get around to it. Because if I had partook in those porn, everybody would be arrested due to child porn. So
they only do that with chicks. They don't do it with guys. What was her name? Tracy Lord or Lords? I can't remember. Anyhow, BJ Callahan is the most porn name I have ever heard, like porn dude name. Bora, the coach before Steve Sampson, did not really have a porn name. And I was trying to make it really clear that what I was saying was a joke by adding Bora in there because I do not need to be sued. So I needed to make it really clear I was joking. Lourdes, now I definitely know there was no E in her last name. Jonathan, Rupert, Tracy Lords. Tracy Lord. Traci, I believe. Lord. Or Lords?
C-I? It's Lords, Lords.
Okay.
She's listed as an American actress.
Well, yeah, because she was in movies. She was in that movie with Johnny Depp later. Big Boys Don't Cry or something like that. Anyhow.
She was in Blade.
She's been in a number of films. But, yeah, she was in a number of films since she was like 14 years old. Porn films back in the late 80s and early 90s. Mostly early 90s, I believe. And then finally... She used to fake
in the fast lane.
Yeah,
Tracy's Fantasies, X-rated Ambition, Intent to Kill. Well,
I believe she only did one porn video.
Sex Waves
legally, and that was after it all came out that she had used the fake ID. I mean, she was built like a real woman, so it's hard to tell that she was 15 or whatever now.
They didn't chop off her leg and count the rings?
No, but they did. They couldn't. They tried to go after they investigated the industry for it, but the industry had done most of their due diligence. They had, taken her driver's license, looked around, noticed that her former job, she was a stripper and figured, she's 18. But she wasn't. Filippo got trolled today by Bend Over. Ha ha.
All right, Derek, before we get too far into this, I guess, before we do the bend over and all that stuff, cover your screen real quick. I'm going to quickly show the today's bingo cards.
All right. And then, Brett, we got to go on a date.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Where are you taking me?
Right here.
Oh, okay. You better cook me something that you always send. Those pictures you always send me, man.
When you said "Where are you taking me?" what did you mean by that?
Ruth Chris. Some other steakhouse.
Oh, you meant a restaurant. I thought you meant like, where am I gonna take you?
Oh no, I wasn't thinking that. You're good. You're good.
All right. No, we were discussing, my parents and I and the dinner guests. This week we're like, do young people go on dates anymore? So I was like, I had my phone, so I looked up, what do young people go on dates anymore? And a couple things came up, and one of them was an article helping young people today going on a first date and giving them questions they can ask on that first date, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to read you a couple of these tonight, Brett. I want you to perform.
Nice.
I want you to perform.
I do every night, Derek.
I want you to pretend that I'm a hot chick, and I have some questions on our first date.
Okay, go for it.
This is the number one question they have listed here. Try to say this with a straight face. Imagine we're on a first date now. Hi, Brett. So nice to meet you. Yeah, before I ask you anything else, like where you're from, which is ridiculous, the first question on here is, hey, Brett, what scent do you find the most soothing? What scent,
Lavender.
Brett?
Lavender.
What scent? That could end the fucking date right there. I mean, you could be like, I don't know, I like the smell of pussy.
that was gonna be my answer, but I was like, nah. Let's go with the cliche.
You could think of an answer for all of these that
close your legs. Kim P likes the smell of anchovies. Tuna.
I mean, some of these questions you could totally ruin the. I'll move down to one of the later ones they have on here.
Yeah.
Hold on. It's on here somewhere.
Mm-hmm. You took the time to actually have a list. You've written them out.
I printed it. Printed out the list. One of the questions is, here, excuse me. I'll pretend we're on a date. Hi, Brett. I really want to know what makes you unique.
Prince Albert.
Date ruined. I don't know what that is, Brett. What's a Prince Albert?
Give it a couple hours and you'll see.
Yeah, I mean, that question's fucked up. These are not questions you ask on a first date. I'm sorry. You ask, like, where are you from? Where'd you go to college? And you try to build some connections. Huh? No weather. We don't do weather. Weather's not what you do. I don't do weather. I want to know where they're from, where they came from, where they grew up, what they've experienced in life. These are not the kind of questions you ask somebody you don't know. You got to start with some basics first. Unless she's really fucking ugly and you just ran into her and this is like a blind date, then you're like, yeah, so babe, oceans or mountains? Why?
I think Tenacious D had a riot on what song was it? I can't think of the song they had, but it's like, what's your favorite dish? What's your favorite position? You start stalking, and you jump off into the deep end at that point.
Okay.
You get the important questions out first. I
mean, imagine you show up, she's kind of chubby and fat, you're totally unattracted. You're going to go through this list of questions, and one of the ones you ask is, so what's your favorite thing about your personality? Besides you being fat. You're like, all right, so I'm going to go through a couple of these every night, and I'll be your girl, the girl on the first date, and Brett will have to answer the questions best he can. And these are, I guess, to benefit the younger audience out there. This is from a site called The Good Trade, and these were their top 40 questions, top 40 questions to ask on a first date.
Younger people nowadays, don't they just swipe left and right and then go and fuck? Isn't that how it usually works out?
I don't know. I think that's more.
I don't think you bother with the dates.
That's more of the 28, 29, 30 crew. I think we're talking about the 20, 21, 22 crew, the Pulisic crew. You know what I mean? 23 and under. Never had sex. Only talked to women online before, and that's it.
Yeah.
But playing video games. Have no friends, really. Never been to an actual party or drank a beer.
He's pocketing all those millions. So,
well, we'll get to that later. Okay, so that's all I got as far as joviality. I did bring up the word. I used the word. What was the word? Shit. I used it at work, and everybody made fun of me. What is the word I used, Brett? Jocularity. I used jocularity at work the other day, and no one had ever heard the word before. So then I had to explain what it was. And some people thought I had said something very obscene.
Yeah. I mean,
And
you might as well just slam down a dildo on the table, you know?
I said, hey, man, I love one of the things I love around here is the jocularity. And everybody's like, what? What's that mean? That sounds gross. I'm like, it means having a good time. God damn it. What's wrong with you people? Have you never read Shakespeare? No one knows what the word jocularity? I used that word on this show a year and a half ago. Remember? It's the first time you'd ever heard it too.
I don't remember you saying that. That was a year and a half ago.
Anyhow,
I barely remember what we said on a couple shows ago. Come on.
So, for all of you out there, the word of the day is jocularity. And I challenge you to go home and use that word in a sentence around your friends and your family.
Just don't look it up on a work computer.
And the ways to use it are, I feel quite jocular. This party has a lot of jocularity. That's how you use it.
Nice.
I feel quite jocular. Now, if you say that around like someone on a first date, they might slap you. So you want to be clear that you know the person first, because they might think you're getting, nasty. But it's a word, Jocular, jocular. And if there's a lot of it, then there's jocularity. All right. That's the word of the day. Maybe I should do a word of the day every show.
Right? I went to Urban Dictionary to find out if they had a fun definition of jocularity. They don't.
No, because it's fun. That's what it means. It is fun. So there doesn't need to be a fun one. This is fun. The word itself. It's about having good times.
Looking for this Paul stuffed her with his jocularity or something like that.
No. Brad was arrested after being quite jocular down in the alley. After hours of jocularity, both men were arrested behind the bushes.
It was just a laundry and tan, guys. Come on.
All right, so let's get on with this show. We'll do actual soccer. Oh,
no, we're not doing actual soccer.
Oh, shit. My golden drock.
We talking about your jocular. Oh, sorry.
Got a little jocular, and it exploded on my leg. I'm not kidding. I got
drock.
I got golden drock all over my leg. You can quote me on that.
BJ is very jocular.
BJ Callahan is one of the more jocular characters in the U.S. men's national team scene. Oh my God, I got drock all over my leg. It exploded. All right, we're ready for the show. And yes, I am drinking Golden Drock again. It is one of the best beers in the world. Okay. But $28 for a 4-pack. I buy, I don't know, one every other week and then just sip them on this show. I sip them. All right, what do we got going here?
Adam Wiggins says, a little humor for tonight's show.
No, we don't do humor here.
So this is a meme of saying maybe not the best abbreviation for assorted.
Assorted? Ass fudge. Where did you find this? It is poor. That is very poorly done. Although someone might be laughing. The person that did this might be laughing.
Yeah. I bet you they didn't sell any fudge, though, And who packed it is my question.
I would have bought some of your fudge, but it sounds like it came straight out of someone's asshole.
Is that corn? No.
Is there a piece of corn in there
I don't
somewhere?
like nuts. I'm allergic to nuts.
Well, the body does have a hard time digesting nuts. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
So they can't come out and look like they've barely been digested, which is why some of this ass fudge looks pretty good. All right. This is not soccer related.
It definitely looks well packed. I agree.
Yes.
Somebody definitely took time on that one.
Yeah, I'm not going to. Wow. I can't really get into that conversation because in real life. Anyhow, no. All right. I've never been fudge packed.
Yeah.
So I can't really speak to what that experience would feel like. But I think most women who allow you to do that will also warn you prior, hey, we're not doing that tonight. Right? Because if you do, you're going to end up with a golden, not a finger, but a golden you know what. Not a gold finger, but a gold pecker, a brown pecker. I don't know. Anyhow, that's so you usually get a warning about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think vanilla fudge doesn't actually portray actual fudge packing, so I mean it's a bit different. All right, Derek, we're moving on. We're moving on from the
yeah. Before we get completely banned from fucking YouTube forever, let's get off this topic. Get off this topic. You know what I mean? All right.
Get off. Yeah, I got you.
Ding, ding, ding. All right.
All right, Derek. Speaking of ding dings, let's go.
What are you? We're like a bunch of stone 13-year-old girls.
It makes sense where I'm going because we're going to talk about transfer news.
Let me swallow. What?
Oh no, man! Thank goodness all these jokes didn't come up when we started talking about the actual Nations League.
I meant my beer. All right, let me do it. Transfer news. Everybody loves that transfer news, but me. All right, I hate fucking transfer.
All right, so here we go.
Fabrizio Romano, usually very reliable source, says
very Russian of you there. Reliable.
No, it wasn't.
Soviet Russian.
No, I didn't get
you totally threw it in there.
No, all right.
Go back and rewatch it.
I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah.
Understand Feyenoord has submitted an opening bid to sign Ricardo Pepi. Negotiations ongoing with Augsburg, as club sources confirm. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure the negotiations they're still going on. Feyenoord want to be fast in talks for U.S. men's national team striker. What? They're that hot and heavy they can't take their time? Yep, we want this done quickly. We want it done quickly, as they are aware of the other club's interest. Well, I'm glad they want to be fast, but you're Augsburg, you don't have to be fast, and you don't have to be in a rush. So you're not going to be.
Sure. But
you're going to wait for the best.
That's rushing it, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
they know the other teams are interested. So they're like, hey, here's my opening bid. Filling them out. Which is kind of ironic because this is kind of what we were talking about later on when we talk about Lalas. This is kind of the point I was making early before we started the show.
Right. Well, I mean, Augsburg aren't looking for a quickie. They're looking for quality. All right. So they want to be buttered up. They want to be lubed up. They want to be well fingered and lubed. And they don't want to just bend over and take one. They are looking for a good deal here. Soft and tender, if you will. They want to go slow. They want to get the best deal they can get. Damn, Feyenoord at least buy him dinner first. Yeah, I don't know why they think rushing it. I mean, maybe that's Fabrizio's opinion of what they're doing, but
actually,
Augsburg are stupid.
Before I get to Jose, let's answer this question: how low do you think Augsburg will go?
Wow, I'd be shocked if, depending on how much money they just made off that loan, they want to at least go out at zero, like zero loss, right? So they've already loaned him. They've made some money. He's played some games for them. So you take that off the sheet and you look at, all right, what else is left here over? I don't know how to do the exact math.
I mean, the big thing here is they still have. I mean, he's still there until 2026. I mean, he's got many a year there.
And Augsburg can be stubborn as fuck as long as they want about this.
Yeah,
and they would be smart to be because they need.
If they're gonna be stubborn as fuck, they better fucking play him.
Yeah, I think they would play him next season. I think they've seen what he could do at Groningen, and I think they would be willing to play him until he feels comfortable in that starting 11. I think he'd get plenty of time. I think he would play a lot. and he'd be playing in the Bundesliga, which is a better league than Holland.
Maybe Pepe's sitting there going like, hey, I'll come back. Just stop pissing on my leg, man.
Yeah.
Stop doing it.
No more. Well,
Come
that coach is gone. I think that was very specific to that coach.
HR got a hold of him. Good for them.
Yeah.
They finally got one.
No more leg urination.
No more. Yeah.
Jose Reyes, thank you, brother, for the $10. We always appreciate whatever you have to say because, well, you fucking pay for it, you know? And so, I mean, number one, we love you anyhow. But number two, Brett will meet you at least halfway for $10.
$10? Fuck yeah.
Yep. Wherever. Well, I mean, if you live in the vicinity. What?
Judging by I'm guessing no. He's not in the vicinity.
You think he's in Puerto Rico?
Probably. No. Texas.
Really? I thought that's the Puerto Rican flag. I might be wrong, but
I might be wrong.
It's definitely, well, I don't know. What's up, everyone? The summer is I don't know. Someone tell us, is that the Puerto Rican flag? What's up, everyone? This summer is going to be interesting since BJ is taking over. Maybe they should promote 69 as the assistant. Anyhow, let's just cheer and see what happens. So
Puerto Rico, you're right. Texas isn't too far off, though.
Okay. I know my flags pretty well. Like you could pick 18 random flags around the world and throw them up there, and I'd get almost all of them right. I'm a flat. I am a flag nerd. I'm not on purpose. I have
Does that come up in the first dates too? You start quizzing people on their flag knowledge?
No, I don't, because I know that most people don't even know where most countries are. So
I just imagine Derrickson like, okay, what flag is this? I don't know. Cuba? It's Indiana. This is the state you live in.
You know what matters to me the most? You want to know? Do they have good taste in music? So we can listen to music together. That's like one of the most important things.
Periodically, I try to come up with a band that you might like or might know and like.
Yeah, we wouldn't be dating, Brad.
Yeah. So yeah, I got that going for me. Okay, cool.
some crossover, but not a lot.
I'm curious because we're driving. I heard the band I'm going to bring up here in a second.
Okay.
I wonder if Derek likes this band because all the red flags that Derek always brings up with bands that I bring up that he doesn't like and why he doesn't like them. This band doesn't do this. And I'm sure you're familiar with them because you grew up in the you were playing music during the era of this. But what do you think of Cake?
Didn't they have like one good song or two?
That's several. Over the course of the past couple decades, they had several.
What's the name of the
in the 90s, they only had the one big one.
What was that? Do we know the name of the song? Like, I know the band. I don't think I ever listened to Cake. They were too mainstream for me, and I was a bigger snob then than I am now.
I wouldn't go so far to call them mainstream by any means. They had one hit during the 90s, and then they had a couple hits during the 2000s.
I'll investigate and get back to you on that.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I will send you at least some of their well-known hits, but they have their debut CD in this.
They sound so familiar, Cake, for some reason.
I know about me. I need to feel your touch.
Aren't they kind of like rapping, sort of singing?
Oh no,
songy sort of. I don't know. Well, all right, I'll look it up.
I'll pull up a song. We'll play it after the show's over.
Okay, fair enough.
Just so you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds fair.
Yeah.
All right, Dave Volensky, $4.99. That's a good Russian last name, Dave. Very strong.
Derek was speaking Russian earlier.
I was speaking in
reliable
a Russian accent, according to you. But Dave, thank you for the $4.99. If BJ loses to Mexico, it would be a hard loss to swallow. I see we are gonna have a lot of fun with this, aren't we? I'd like to know what his real name is. How bad can your name be that you would rather be referred to as BJ rather than say Beavis Johnson or Beavis Jack or Beavis John Callahan? I mean, what is his real name? Beaver Jackoff Callahan, then I can understand the BJ thing. But
White
otherwise,
Johnson.
how bad can his first name and second name be?
His name is actually
Blowjob. Blowjob Callahan.
Beaver Johnson, and I would go as Beaver Johnson over BJ.
Yeah, Beaver Johnson is very, very original.
I'd go with that. Yeah. His name is actually Adolf.
Adolf Callahan. I don't know if that's
your name's Adolf and you're growing up with that. And like, I'm just gonna go by the name of BJ because why not?
Well, Callahan is about as Irish of a name as you're going to find. I'm surprised he doesn't have an Irish accent. Honestly,
I mean, there could be a lot of Tommy Boy references too here. That's Tommy Boy's Tommy Callahan.
Well, you could, but he didn't speak with an Irish accent. Top of the morning to you. All right,
Sure.
What do we got next?
Okay.
Is that it for transfer news?
That was it. That was literally it for transfer
Oh my
news,
God!
Yeah.
Well, that was a one-hit wonder.
Yeah. Hey, we have very few fluff pieces today, so we might actually get into our topic. I say relatively early. We're 32 minutes in.
Yeah.
All right, real quick.
Yes.
I like this one, so I just pulled it up.
If you're from Indiana and you don't watch this, you might as well be a Buckeye. If you're from Indiana and you don't watch this, you might as well be a Buckeye. BJ training camp announced heading to the so he's basically
don't worry about you and me. Basically saying if you're from Indiana and you don't watch it, you might as well be from Ohio, is what he's saying.
Don't watch our show?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people in Indiana don't know us. Some do.
And apparently some organizations, some football organizations here in Indiana don't want to acknowledge us either.
Oh, you're not lying.
Oh my God!
Can
we talk about this
briefly? I will say you should have stayed because we ended up doing so. There were photos taken. Okay, so people
let's paint the picture first.
Yeah, so we were invited to the Indy 11's what do they call it? Groundbreaking stadium facilities, the whole. So we were special guests, and we went to this event, and we thought, because we were kind of intimated that we would be recognized in some way.
We were kind of told, hey,
as the founders,
we're gonna talk about you guys being the founders, et cetera, et cetera. So I took my lunch off to go down to this, plus an extra hour that I'm making up to go down to this event. And so did Justin, and so did he's the former treasurer. So did Josh Mason, the second president after me of the Brickyard Battalion. So we go to this event, and we don't get acknowledged at all. And it really killed. You briefly mentioned the supporters keeping the vibe alive in BYB or in Indy 11, but he doesn't actually specify anybody.
You know when we should have been noted? When they were talking about how the idea of the fucking team was created. That's when we should have been acknowledged.
You went off and sat down because you have two left knees and they both hurt.
Yeah.
But I was talking to Justin I know the one guy that came up and he started talking about how the team got developed and all that stuff. And then at the very end, he's like, none of that actually happened. I'm just bullshitting you guys. That's how it should have happened, though.
Right.
And I was turning to Justin. I was like, there's a lot of revisionist history here going on here.
No shit.
Nobody talked about the 2 years prior, before they even brought in Peter Wilt.
Right. We invented a make-believe team.
And we were going around to various different bars, meeting up with people, talking about the interest of a possible team coming here. There was a lot of grassroots development there.
Thousands of supporters on a Facebook page of a make-believe soccer team that didn't exist. Thousands of people, locals. And that was the core of why Ursula thought it would be a good idea to start a team in the first place. Yeah. Because it looked like there was enough support to make it happen. And we helped make it happen. But, okay, let's be fair to them, though, Brett. The reason that issue is going on is because there were issues afterwards that have nothing to do with us. Here's the thing.
If you've got a problem with BYB for any reasons, or anybody else for that
And
matter.
I'm not saying there is
What?
one because
Yeah,
publicly I can't say that.
Oh, I'm assuming because
You got to
we didn't
assume.
get brought up because we were the original BYBers.
We were the
But
founders. Yes.
Here's an idea. Just say, hey, here are the people that spearheaded the team moving forward. You don't even have to mention the supporters group or that we're supporters of the team. Just say, hey, these people are here from ground zero, from the get-go.
Yes.
And then just say our names.
Yep.
I want a fucking statue, a copper statue outside the stadium. Not copper, because that'll turn green. That'll be really weird later on. But I want a statue of us looking up to the heavens in awe, holding beers.
Dude, we don't even get a mention on the fucking Wikipedia page. So let me say this.
Yeah.
For anybody who has access to changing the Wikipedia page for shit, contact us. Because we'll tell you what to put on that fucking page, and you edit it and change it, and we'll make it accurate. Because it doesn't even mention the founders at all. Not at all. Might as well not. We might as well be. Yeah.
I don't need to go down in history, but I do want to be some random fuckwad on a statue in front of the stadium that people walk by like, why are these people? Who are these people? Like, I don't even need to be known. I just want a statue of me up there.
I don't need a reach around, but occasionally it would be nice if you grabbed me by the dick and said, and just kind of fondled the tip of my dick and said, "You did a good job."
Yeah,
that's all I want. All right.
Yeah. That's all. Hey, but
anyway.
I did get a nice poster in a frame.
Saw.
Once I do move down, did you get yours?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once I moved down to my
it's back here somewhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say once I moved downstairs to where my station
jack off factory is.
My jerk off station's gonna be in the background. I'll put that up there because it's nice. Whatever. It's nice. I was there. I'm taking it. But
listen, there's
to be fair to acknowledge a little bit. Come on.
Fair to them, there's a lot of politics going on there, and we don't know all the ins and outs of it.
Sure.
I actually do know a lot of ins and outs of it, and I can't say anything about it. So there you go. All right. We move on now. Are BJ's ties to young? Are you talking about young boys? Young boys soccer, as it pertains to pay to play unsettling. Are BJ's ties
soccer clubs?
Youth soccer clubs. Okay, as it pertains to pay to play unsettling. I don't. Thank you, by the way, Al.
Okay, sorry. I saw BJ's, and I immediately went to the wrong place here. No.
Yeah, I did not. I stayed grounded.
That's why I immediately said no.
So, Al, appreciate the $4.99, brother. You know we love you.
It's the academy where Aronson went. Okay.
I don't think you're going to find a lot of people who've been involved in U.S. soccer on any level, youth-wise, in the last 20 to 15 to 10 years who haven't in some way been involved in pay to play. It's just unavoidable.
Fair enough. Basically, anybody that's
unavoidable.
Anybody that's come through our system as a whole. I mean, whether it's club or whatever, it's all guaranteed pay to play.
I mean, I'm not excusing pay to play. I'm just saying a lot of people were victims of pay to play. The players, and in some cases, youth coaches coming up through the ranks at the time who wanted to be coaches but had no other way to make it happen except for he ran a prep academy that charged $30,000 a year. Yep. Well, yeah, it's not great, Larry. It's not great, Al. I get it. But that's the way things were done back then. Doesn't make it right. But, it's like things in history. You know what? We've gotten a lot better and a lot smarter and a lot fairer. But that doesn't mean everybody in the past who did something we would consider to be really wrong now was a horrible fucking person.
But I'm assuming that $30,000 was pretty much a private school at that point, correct?
That had to be
it wasn't just going and playing soccer.
It was a year-round program.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's got to be like you're going to an academy, you're playing, but you're also getting educated. It has to be, right?
Yeah, there's education involved. Basic math, basic science, basic English, and then sex ed.
Yeah, it's a school. Okay.
Sex ed.
So it's a prep school. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah,
They didn't have the sex ed part of the program when Pulisic was there, so you got to give him a little bit of space there.
No.
But Aronson, he was there when they brought the sex ed program. That's why he's knocking boots.
There we go. Look at that.
Come on, Philburn. What are we doing next?
Yeah. Can I get any closer? Nope. It's going to be better than doing like this, I think.
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about this Nations League roster we got here.
Man, I tell you what, this straight calendar kid, everybody's talking him up like he is, the sweet sauce on the best barbecue ribs. We'll see if that's going to be the case going forward. But, man, does he get a lot of laudits and praise from people in and around MLS?
I guess the first thing I want to bring up here is a specified training camp. So it doesn't necessarily. I know that the final roster has to be announced as of June 5th. I think it is.
Well, I guess
I imagine this is going to be 99% accurate, or 100%. Yes. I don't think they're going to bring 4 goalkeepers for that matter.
Somebody's going to pull a left testicle, and they're going to have to right. Josh Cohen.
Let's go ahead and go through this, I guess, and just talk about the question marks.
Josh Cohen. That's a really odd bird of a pick. Because Josh Cohen, yes, he's been playing at Maccabi for a long time. It seems like forever. He's gone to the Champions League. He's played competitive Champions League games, and he's played well in them. Maybe this is sort of the pat on the back, thank you kind of thing. Like, thank you for not bitching and moaning. Thank you for hanging out. Now come hang out with us and do some training. And no, you're not going to get to play. So
let me pull. Somebody mentioned a great point. It was Chris. Said Cohen will be cut. He wasn't on the preliminary roster.
Okay.
So that's interesting.
So he's just there for shits and giggles, mostly.
Yeah, saying, hey, we're keeping an eye on you, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know how good of a locker room guy he is, but he's there. Maybe
no vibes coming from Cohen.
Right. Maybe he's interested in getting involved in coaching later and just requested to be there in camp. Yeah. Sean Johnson, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say Johnson and Turk. Let's go through the rest of the goalkeepers. Let's pause there for a second.
What the fuck do you think I was doing?
I know. Well, I didn't realize where you were at, Derek. That's why I was going to start talking, but then you started talking about Sean Johnson. I was like, oh, we're not done yet. That's what I was like, let's do it.
You're not done with Cohen?
No. Let's finish up the goalkeepers.
You are done with Cohen.
Finish, yeah.
So what about me saying Sean Johnson didn't?
I started talking just at the same time as you started talking. So what are you saying about Sean Johnson? No, I started talking the exact same time. So
okay, I'm sorry. And not in my headphones. They weren't, but
that's your problem, not mine.
Little delay on your vocals. Sean Johnson. Yeah, whatever. That's fine. Oh. We're like the 2 old guys in the Muppet Show up on the balcony. Matt Turner. Yeah, he's going to start and play.
Both.
And everybody else is, both games.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, the other 2, I guess, because one's going to get cut. The other 2 are just there for training. Train.
Right. Because they got to play.
The system and everything, yeah. Sean Johnson, I mean, at that point, I guess he's the clear-cut second choice, I guess, in this roster. Let's put it this way. In this roster.
What happened to Zach Steffen? Is he injured?
I was about to pull it up here. Look at that, yeah. Zach Steffen undergoes knee scope to clean out the meniscus damage.
I've had one of those. They're all right.
These look like he's having fun, though.
Shit. His is a lot more thorough than mine. Mine just left a little mark. That was not even close to that bad. So he must have had a lot of shit floating around in there.
Cleaned out some shit. They definitely wrapped that up. I know when I went under the knife for my knee, I had a wrap similar to this, but then I had that knee raising device that you put on the bed with you, and I'm sure he has that too. But I mean, I certainly was never chilling at a pool.
Well, good for him chilling out at the pool in what looks to be not England.
No.
I don't know where that is, but
Spain, maybe, or
it
Portugal,
looks very
or
Spain. I mean, if we could blow up the picture, I could tell from the architecture a little better. But
nope. Let's go
okay,
back.
well,
we'll just zoom in. Whoa!
Oh, extreme close up, extreme close up. No, I can't tell. There's
Nothing
a
better?
big cathedral in the background there somewhere. So that would help us if we could zoom in. And then there is a round sort of tubular. Is this Italy, maybe? Could that be Italy?
Maybe.
Could be. Southern Italy. Anyhow, I guess we can stop
I'm just looking at the colors and everything. I'm thinking Spain. That's where I'm going with.
Okay. Well, we'll find out. Anybody can find out where
he's in Spain. There we go. Look at that.
Yeah.
Al says, that's Nebraska.
Man, Omaha has sure changed since last time I drove through that shithole. All right. What else we got? Let's go back to the lineup.
I got to zoom back out. Let's see here. Is there anything else? Nope. Okay. Let's go to the lineup. Close that one out.
All right. Defenders.
All right. We're at the defenders.
No
Serginho
Brooks.
Dest.
No
Clear.
Brooks. No Brooks. No Brooks. No Brooks.
So, yeah, and that's what Chris Gary brings up. That Scuffed actually brought up. USSF staying consistent. Brooks, you out of here. You know
How the fuck does a guy go to one of the worst teams in the Bundesliga at the time, have a few bad games, yes, at the beginning, then really get his shit together and pull them out of fucking relegation and keep them out of relegation and play the most important position in the back line, that is the center of the three center backs, and get no fucking credit for it whatsoever? I'm only guessing that BJ is a really good friend of Greg's because I really think Hudson would have picked Brooks. I really do. I really honestly think Hudson would have picked Brooks.
But over who in this situation? You have Chris Richards, who didn't really play much at all this season. He did play a couple games, and he looked fine.
Over Austin Trusty. That's it.
I was going to say, I'm thinking down there, yeah. Miles Robinson.
Or Zimmerman, for Christ's sake. But we
Zimmerman
all know
and Trusty, yeah.
Zimmerman is locked into this lineup. He's like fucking bees on honey.
You know what's interesting about this lineup, with the defenders at least, is that we have two starter outside backs and then one sub that can cover both of them.
Yeah.
That's it.
I know.
I mean, that's completely different than what we're used to seeing, like 5 right backs and 1 left back.
I mean, you got Dest who will start, you got Anthony Robinson who will start, and you got, well, okay, to be fair, Austin Trusty played some right back this season.
Fair enough. He could play there. You're right.
Yeah. Joe Scally. Oh, let me just say this about Scally. I know we all love Joe Scally. But Joe Scally, by the end of the Gladbach season, had lost his starting spot and was a 10 to 5 minute to 15 minute guy off the bench. And I think we need to be concerned about that because the guy took this other guy, I think his name is Strindle. I can't fucking remember his name now. Took his job. So
my gerb.
Derek wants to suck that Norse god's dick. Larry, my lips have never touched a cock. All right?
Not even Norse gods?
No. I mean, I would love to have mine be able to touch my own, but I'm not that flexible.
All right, so your point of Joe Scally here, and let's just pull this up. Okay. Here he is.
And listen, I don't think that Zimmerman is a Norse god, right? Zimmerman is about as, German a name as you could get, right?
Yeah, I think it's just the blonde hair look with the pony, with the whatever, the man bun and stuff like that.
Listen, but I get his irritation.
The last 5 games, he played 1 minute. Fair enough. He lost his spot.
He lost his spot.
Prior to that, he was a consistent 90er. And sure, it sucks that he lost his spot. I mean, I'd be curious to find out why. And I have no idea how well his replacement played in comparison. But I guess it's not my
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
So
they lost 1-2 and drew 1, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it'll just be
bench, so
it will be interesting to see how next season evolves for Joe Scally, because it looks like he's a bench guy now. And can he, in the off season and lead up into the new season, regain his job? So, Derek, please sing some Brando. I really don't do that, Larry, on the show. I can't hit most of the notes I used to be able to hit, but I will give you some of this. Even flow. There you go. That's all I got. Thanks, Larry, for the $2. BMR 209 says, wasn't Gladbach trying to sell Lehner? Maybe. I mean, there are all kinds of things going on right now, and I'm not a Gladbach expert by any means, but I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how Scally's career evolves, because it looks to me as though Scally's hitting somewhat of his ceiling. I hate saying that, but we have
nothing wrong with your ceiling being a starting right back or left back option for
a serviceable Bundesliga team. Yeah. Yes, I get it. He's a serviceable player for a Bundesliga team, but his attacking prowess needs work if he's going to take another level, if he can take another step forward. So
again, Cherundolo was our consistent option as a back, and he played for Hanover forever.
But Cherundolo was really good at crossing the ball.
Sure, fair enough. And I'm saying
better than Scally.
Well, Scally's a different type of defender, quite frankly, and I think he plays well in a situation where you want to play like a Jedi or a Des, quite frankly, if you think about it, and let them have the creative freedom to move up, and then you still have that solidified more or less 3 back.
Cherundolo was also a leader.
Okay, fair enough. And
I don't think Scally's going to be that.
19? Scally's what, 19?
Well, you could tell early on in Cherundolo's career he was going to be a leader.
Larry says 20. Sorry, my bad. He's 20. Give him.
I will just say this to Al. Teams sign serviceable players all the time. That's why Timmy Chandler still has a job. They signed him, and they kept signing him, even though
play right now, man.
Even though he didn't play this season. So teams will hire somebody they think is either could be a starter or a serviceable backup at a very important position like left back or right back. So a guy like Scally, as long as he's serviceable, will continue to get paid in the Bundesliga because that's a hard position to play. Dave Walensky, $10.
Larry's not taking your bait, by the way.
To do what?
Larry always talks about Chandler. How Chandler got screwed. How Chandler should have been playing for the United States all the way up until now. And you just basically said, yeah, he's serviceable. That's why Chandler still has a job.
Well, Chandler's old now.
Yeah.
It's not like he's 28, 27 years old when he was in his prime. I will say this, when Chandler did get to play this season, which was very rare, I thought he played pretty well. I don't know what's going on there. I really don't. It's not like they're fucking totally kicking ass at Frankfurt in defense and in the back four. And by the way, he plays midfield, so you can, and he plays winger. So, I mean, I'm just not really blown away by Frankfurt's wing play this year, offensive play. I think Chandler should have got more time. I don't know what's going on. So I don't follow the team close enough to know what's going on. Frankly.
Sure. Fair enough. I mean, how could you follow every team that close? Come on.
Yeah, there's no way.
That's crazy. You got a life.
I just know he hasn't been playing. Dave Walensky, $9.99. Again, thank you, sir. Pookie from Norwich is a free agent in Minnesota.
Yeah.
United are trying to sign him. I'm really happy about this. No, he'll be really good in MLS. It means that Josh Sargent gets more playing time in Minnesota, finally get a striker. Yeah, I think that's a good deal for everybody. And it was going that direction anyhow, especially under David Wagner, who was starting Sargent either underneath Pookie or later in the season as the starting center forward and leaving Pookie on the bench. So, yeah, I think it's good for Sargent, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I hope Sargent doesn't disappoint me.
Yeah.
I'm worried about that
Well, I mean, we talked about last show. He's happy to remain at Norwich. So he's going to clearly get more playing time. And hopefully Norwich can provide the service because he's shown this year that he's able to find the goal. He just needs better team support as a whole.
Yeah, no, they were horrible. They were horrible after like the first. I mean, they're really good for like the first 12 games.
But Dave, I do agree. Pookie to Minnesota would be a massive pickup.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
no,
yeah. Minnesota would definitely be upgrading there.
That guy's a warrior, Pookie. He'll make you guys. He'll make you proud as a supporter.
So we talked about Brooks and the defenders. Anybody else you're missing here?
Well, can you put it back up?
Oh, I could. Yeah. I could pick it. I could put it back up.
Anyone else we're missing here? Yeah, preferably another left or right back, but
we take away one goalkeeper. You can put another back in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not really itching to have Yedlin.
What about McKenzie?
I don't think we need another send back here, but if I had one, it'd be McKenzie over Trusty.
No, that's my point. As I was going to ask if McKenzie should have been in here over somebody else.
Listen, Birmingham did not have a great season. I don't know what the fuss is with Austin Trusty. I know he was their defensive player of the year or their new player of the year or whatever. He had a decent season. But, I mean, what McKenzie accomplished especially goal after goal after goal after goal at the end of the season.
Definitely at the end of the season, yeah.
And having Genk be at the top of the table for almost the entire season, except for the very end, there's something to that. And I get that, the Belgian Duper League has some poor, shitty teams on it. I get it. I get that. But I think that McKenzie proved he's a reliable center back, whereas Austin Trusty was playing right back, center back. I mean, they moved him right center back, left center back. They've just used him all over the place. Maybe that's why he's here.
Trusty's inclusion is his versatility at this point. Right?
His versatility?
Versatility, not versatility. You're right.
But anyhow, yeah. It's just a little weird. I'm glad to see Chris Richards here.
Yeah.
But I do think another left or right back would have been nice. There aren't many options at left back. But...
Frank pulls it out here. The reason why there are only 4 fullbacks, I guess he's including Trusty there, is because the roster is 23, not 26.
Yeah, are we back to that now?
I'm guessing if that's what they called in here.
We're going back to pre-COVID rules, pre-beer bug rules? I should have said the word. I don't even know if that's still illegal to say that now on YouTube. And it's crazy that it ever was illegal to say that word on YouTube. YouTube, you should be fucking ashamed.
So there's 24 names listed here. Like we said, I think one of the goalkeepers is going bye-bye. And we talked about Cohen because he wasn't in the preliminary. So that makes it 23. Right. Frank does say for Nations League, I think for Gold Cup it's 26. Oh, and then Chambers says Gold Cup is 23 as well.
So they have gone back to the old setup then. Are we going to go back to only 3 subs?
What about subs? Yeah, I was going to say, what about subs? Is that going to be the thing too?
I mean, are we going totally back? Are we going all the way back? Are the rules totally changing? I haven't read the new CONCACAF rules yet. I mean, are we going back to 3 subs and 23 players through 23 roster? I don't know. Guess we'll find out. Guess I didn't do my homework.
Chris Gary brings up a great point. Actually, it is unlimited. You can have as many people in this training roster.
No. Are you serious?
Can only handle 23
Chris, are you serious? We're allowed to have more than 23?
Well, it's a training camp roster.
I get it. But is Chris serious that the rosters are not limited to 23?
No, he's just saying that I believe, Chris, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think he's saying that the training camp roster can be unlimited. And then you'd have to whittle it down to 23 for Nations League come June 5th.
Well, there's no point in disappointing a bunch of people.
He's joking.
Anyways. Okay. I was going to say.
He's pulling up the Berhalter kit joke where he's like.
No, he's right. Statement. That is a funny fucking. That's a funny fucking joke because Berhalter used to use that excuse because he was so fucking befuddled by any more than 23 players he couldn't handle it. So that's funny shit. Good point. All right, midfielders. Johnny Cardoso, not a total shock or anything. Johnny Soccer's there. Luca De La Torre, Weston McKennie. Of course, no Adams because he's injured. Musa, Reina, and Sonora. I think that's fine. Like, there's no Roldans on there, or there are no Acostas on there.
I guess the one telling thing here is you have one true, not even a true out and out six. I mean, Johnny Cardoso is the closest thing to an Adams in this midfield lineup.
Yep. I think that
are we going back to the 2-8s? Or are we going to stick it with the double pivot and just make Weston and Musa play back, and then with Gio in front or something like that?
I think you just nailed it.
Okay.
I think it's a 4-2-3-1, unless BJ is an absolutist Greg cocksucker. Yeah. Then we're going back to 4-3-3. And I guess we'll figure that out, right? First game.
Yeah.
Whether or not or who BJ is. Because you can't really play a true, honest double pivot here with this lineup of players. Because Weston doesn't play a double pivot. That ain't his bag of chips. Sonora ain't gonna play in that spot. Reina ain't playing in that spot. Cardoso, as you said, is really the only guy, and Musa can pull it off. But
Sonora will play wherever the fuck we play him. Cardoso will definitely play there. Luca De La Torre, McKinney, and Musa can all play in that double pivot. I mean, if need be, but I mean, it's not like it's their strength position.
I'd like to see a 4-2-3-1 because I want to see Reina continue to play the 10.
Yeah.
But if we see Reina come on off the bench as a winger again, then we know we're back to Greg ball, right?
Yeah. Reina is also listed as a midfielder here, so there is that to consider. I mean, I know that this is just a roster, and they just threw names in there, and they can play them wherever the fuck they want to play them.
Yes.
So it really doesn't matter, but
I'm sure they didn't consult BJ before making this list.
Yeah, and it's more telling though that they threw Aronson up in as a forward over, say, Reina, if you're aiming to play him in the up in the top three. So I think that Reina is going to play as the 10, or at least as a more offensive-minded 8 if they do play the 4-3-3, Berhalter's 4-3-3, or even in the 4-2-3-1 that you're talking about, he'll still play the 10.
I mean, the real thing here is nobody knows who this BJ Callahan guy is as far as what he's going to do, right?
We don't for the summer, yeah.
We all thought Hudson would be. When we first heard Hudson was picked, we thought, oh, man, it's just going to be more Greg fucking Berhalter. And the first thing Hudson did was said, fuck Greg Berhalter. We're going to loosen up. We're going to allow our players to be more creative. We're playing a totally different formation, a 4-2-3-1, which Greg very rarely ever played. And we found out we were wrong about Hudson. And I started to like Hudson a lot because of that. And now we got this new dude, and we don't know who he is. We don't know if he's a dogmatist. We don't know if he's flexible. We don't know what his ideas are. So
this is my point. Frank brings it up. Is Greg always listed Gio as a forward?
So there's hope that we play a 4-2-3-1, and Reina gets to play a 10. There's hope, at least. But we won't know. And quite frankly, I want to say apologize for being cynical, but that's where I start every new chapter.
Are you saying that we're going to play with a 10?
I say there's hope for it. Right?
Yeah.
Right? There's hope. This guy ain't Greg. Right? There's hope.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, again, he's got to get. Unfortunately, it's the bulk of our games, foreseeable games right now and this year. But yeah, he's got to get through Nations League and Gold Cup, and then hopefully whoever Betty Crocker has lined up for the actual coaching gig swoops in at that point. But I mean, it sucks that we're looking at a situation now where there were a number of people that are actually starting to dig what Hudson was doing, and now he's off to do his own thing. I'm assuming he must have gotten a gig somewhere, especially if he was basically told by Betty that he's not going to get the gig and that you're going to be brought back in as an assistant coach again.
You know what? If Betty Crocker comes out after September, and announces that the new coach of the men's national team is going to be Jesse Marsh, I'm going to punch him in his face.
So it's interesting. Didn't BJ also assist Jim Curtin?
Yes.
I'm just saying.
I don't know if that means dick. I'm just saying.
It might not mean dick. I'm just saying there's definitely a connection there at least.
If we are playing games again, and U.S. Soccer's fucking lying again and saying, "Oh no, we're doing the thorough search," and then they pretend to do a thorough search for the next few months, and then name the guy we all knew was going to be the manager in the first place, I'm going to fucking lose my shit on this show. I'm going to lose my shit because they lied again. They pulled off a ruse. This is all posing. This is all for a fucking performance. Like, who are all these people lined up for interviews? Who are they? Can we learn who they are? Can we do?
Aren't we supposed to be preaching transparency at this point? Isn't that the whole thing the USSF is about?
What they said. Who's coming in for these interviews?
We're interviewing this person, this person, this person, this person. At that point, we understand who we're possibly going to get, and then whoever gets it gets it. And at least at that point, you're being obvious. Whereas we're sitting here wondering because, Hudson took over. Okay. Well, now BJ's taking over. Okay. There's going to be somebody coming up in September that's going to be different. And we're going to sit there and go like, okay, well, if it's Jesse Marsh, you're going to feel jerked off, right, Derek?
Yeah, because I think we all know it's going to be Jesse Marsh. And I think they might know it too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, this is like the girl you've been pursuing for months. And then there's this guy in your band. He's better looking than you. And he, unbeknownst to you, made out with her and probably diddled her too, right? Mm-hmm. And he never tells you, right? Never tells you. And you're still pursuing this girl. You're like, oh, man, she's the hottest. And it's not working out, right? Yeah. And then your friend finally breaks the news 6 months later after your 6-month pursuit and says, yeah, I already fucked her. And you're like, oh, fuck. When did that happen? And I feel like, that's what they're doing to us. Behind the scenes, they've already fucked Jesse Marsh and put a ring on it. And they're not telling us that they already did it.
And my theory that they made promises to Hudson and said, hey, you have until summer or through summer is out the window at this point now.
It is. It's gone.
So now, here's a big question. If Jesse Marsh gets the job in September, the big question on everybody's mouth is going to be, why wasn't it during Nations League? Why when Hudson fucked off and went his own way, at that point, why don't you just sign Marsh?
We've got June.
Doesn't make any sense.
July,
wasting
August.
Tournaments.
You know how many interviews you can do in a month? If you're a good organizer, you could probably get 6 to 8 to 10 great interviews with possible coaches done this month in June and already know who you want, right? And be done with this charade. Be done with this fucking charade and just announce who the fucking manager is. That's all I'm asking for. And then, okay, if you want to say Jesse ain't starting till after the fucking Gold Cup, fine. That's fine. But at least we know who the real manager is, and he can get to work, right? He can get to work.
It makes zero sense at this point. Because again, my tinfoil hat theory was just that they promised him this, and that's why they're holding off. But that's gone now.
Nah.
At this point, there's zero.
I never
reason.
bought it. Never bought into that.
I know that was just me trying to come up with a reason why. If it's all but assured that Jesse was going to be hired, then. But if he gets hired in September, then the big question is at that point, why? Why do we wait? Why are we waste two tournaments? I mean, I know we have some big friendlies coming up in September, October, or whatever it was. What was it? Ghana and Germany or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
But
we're wasting time. We're wasting time. Unless you want to protect Jesse from looking like shit because he's going to, not have much time to work with the team.
There you go. That's probably the big thing, isn't it?
For Nations League, and we get beat. But then there's time to prepare for the Gold Cup. If you put him in right after Nations League, you got time. You got some time to work until the Gold Cup.
And I know we've had this 4-year Mexico can suck it type of mentality here, but at any point, I feel like at any point the games can always go either way. I know that Mexico's not the Mexico of old by any means, but Mexico could absolutely put in a shift and beat us, regardless of who's managing the U.S. up here coming up soon.
Yeah.
So. I hope it doesn't happen, and I don't think it will happen. I hope that we continue our dominance over Mexico, but there's always the possibility. And if you're banking on the fact that if Jesse loses to Mexico on the first match, or even to whomever would play in the final at that point, that's just silly and stupid. You're wasting an entire window, and now you're going to waste 2 full windows because of that. So.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It really is. Taylor Booth is nice to see on here. He did not even dress today for Utrecht, which was weird. Maybe there's a reason I don't know about. I think for Ricardo Pepi, they can take the Groningen name off of him and put Augsburg, because I think their season's over. Yeah. So, this is all. I'm glad Balogun's there. Of course, we knew that was happening. But nothing else really that surprising. On this list. Alan Sonora is a little surprising, to be honest. It's not like Alan Sonora is kicking ass in the fucking, Liga MXs, because he ain't.
I'm just out of curiosity, though, in the midfield, who would you bring in over?
Well, that's a really great question, right? You would think Acosta, but because he's a real can play the CDM spot. And I know people are going to go, oh my God, fuck Acosta. But at least we know what we got with Acosta. Alan Sonora looks like a guy who looked pretty out of place last time he was with us. And he's not like he's rocking the house in Mexico. He's struggling to get time. So it has for the entire season. So he and his brother Joel. So I don't know. Maybe they're just saying, like, let's give him a shot. Let's give him another shot. We already know what Acosta can do.
They could simply be looking at. Of course, Sonora was instrumental in the.
Oh, Acosta's got an injury too, by the way.
He was instrumental in the goal against Mexico. So he's definitely kept his name in there.
I'm just saying Acosta does have an injury. He's not been playing for LAFC. So
fair enough.
Maybe that's it.
Obviously, what's the other? Not Malik. What's
Tillman?
the other Tillman? What's the other Tillman?
Oh, Timothy.
I don't know why I want to say Tommy. Timothy was the issue that his switch was approved after the preliminary was already based in there. So you had to go basically based off of who was on the preliminary roster. You could talk about somebody like Ledesma. You could talk about Mihailovic.
No.
I'm going purely off of the preliminary roster. So you have to look at that type of stuff more. So
Tillman. Timothy Tillman's been really, really good.
Gold Cup. He's going to be Gold Cup
for LAFC.
Yeah.
Obviously, his brother Malik is injured, so that's why he's not here.
That's a big misser. Yeah. So I think Sonora's in there because. Who's our other option at this point that's not injured or wasn't a part of that preliminary roster? I don't think anybody in the midfield got snubbed.
It's not rolled on. I guess this works for me. I guess I have no problem. I don't think he's going to play that much.
Probably not. I don't think so either.
Yeah.
So you look at the strike, look at the forwards. The big question there was whether it was going to be Pepi or Sargent, because the other people have no way in this at all, by any means. But I guess Sargent is also injured, according to Shredder. Brian mentioned it. He was injured. So that made the decision easier, I guess.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think he probably would have found some way to get him on into this roster.
And that point, though, I mean, who would you take out? I mean, you could take out Booth, I guess, and you could aim to play Sargent as an option for a winger.
I think you can either take
out.
You can take Aronson out.
Aronson, that's a great point too.
Aronson's
not
playing good.
It's not like he had a great season by any means.
He had a horrible season.
He was listed. Horrible. He was listed in the starting 11 of who had the worst seasons in EPL.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And that's relative to how much they were paid, and how much their transfer fee was. Yeah.
I guess looking at this whole roster, my only two possible gripes per se is Brooks, definitely. I get three gripes because I think McKenzie deserves a look as well because he's had a hell of an end of his season, especially.
I agree.
But where's Horvath? Why is Horvath?
What the fuck is up with that?
I mean, why does Calendar or even Johnson, in that matter, deserve a look over Horvath, who just got promoted to EPL on a loan from a team that's already in EPL? So I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems there we go. Chambers said it. That's what I was wondering. Horvath's hurt, apparently.
Oh, really? He didn't look hurt after that game.
He's injured.
You know, that's one of those convenient injuries where the season's been a long battle, hard battle for Horvath all season. And you get that phone call, and you didn't limp off the field or anything, and you weren't really injured because I watched that last game.
Yeah.
But you're like, hey, coach, I got a groin thing. Yeah.
Okay. Apparently it's a groin thing. And, okay, so I guess at that point, Larry's mentioned this a couple times, so I'll go ahead and bring it up here. What do you think about this option?
Not yet, Larry. Not yet.
So I guess my only issues.
By the way, Leonard Maloney plays for Heidenheim for people who aren't aware, but people who watch the show probably already know that. And Heidenheim was, promoted to the Bundesliga.
Nice.
I believe for the very first time in their history. And Leonard Maloney was a longtime German-American who, before going to Heidenheim, played for Dortmund's youth team and got like one or two 5-minute looks at Dortmund proper before heading to Heidenheim.
Oh, there you go.
BJ Man specializes in groins. All right. I think
so I guess overall my only questions and less gripes here. I guess I could expect the people he brought up, but McKenzie and Brooks were my only two question marks here.
No Morris.
Heyo.
No Jordan Morris.
Well, we brought this up last show. Was the last show? Or
yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but
he hasn't scored a goal in 8 games.
He just scored a goal.
Well,
last weekend.
Okay, fair enough.
But there was a gap. There was a gap.
So it must have been last Thursday I brought that up then.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
He just scored pretty recently. So, but yeah, there was a gap for a while.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is when you have 8 goals in a season so far, and you're like, well, that's not that bad. But then you realize, 4 of those came in one game. And apparently Morris is injured too.
God damn, everybody's pulled a hammy. Yeah, so other than that, I'm not really – I think I agree with you. And then we found out most of our complaints were to injuries.
Yeah.
The Brooks thing really stands out to me. It really does. It really stinks of we just don't like you. And you're never coming back again.
Well, let's wait to see what happens in the Gold Cup, I guess. But, yeah, that's questionable. I mean, yeah.
I mean, for how he played at the end of the season, for the last 6 or 7 games for Hoffenheim, after he got out of the original, when he got there, the transition was not easy. Things looked bad. Matarazzo settled in. He settled on Brooks. They did, Matarazzo did his thing. He fit in well. He was the backbone of that defense. They easily got out of relegation, and he gets no rewards. I guess that's how this works. And, I'm sure no one in the press or the media are going to ask BJ that question because they never do. They never do.
Somebody had mentioned that they asked BJ about Brooks, and he was very upfront about it, but nobody specified in the chat that I know of what he said about Brooks.
Anybody know what they said about Brooks?
Somebody in the chat, if you guys watch that presser or whatever, somebody had mentioned that they're very forward. He was very forward with his reasoning.
Oh, so is this presser on U.S. Soccer YouTube page yet?
Oh, I don't know about that. I didn't look. I only found out in the chat this happened.
Okay, well, I'm going to go watch it after the show's over. Unfortunately, we're not going to do it live here because we don't know where the good parts are.
No, yeah. Absolutely.
And by the way, the sound on U.S. Soccer, their YouTube is fucking atrocious. Why are you fucking so bunch of goddamn limp dickum amateurs that we can't even hear the question? So we can only know what the question was by working backwards because of the answer. Can't you stupid fucks that U.S. Soccer figure that out? How fucking lame are you that you can't get the sound turned up on the people asking the questions on your YouTube page? Why are they so silent? All we hear is the answers from Hudson. We don't actually hear any of the questions. It's so stupid. I'm just so sick of this amateur fucking bullshit they put on. The jackassery that goes on at U.S. Soccer. And they give no two fucks at all because they don't even bother fixing it or even thinking to fix it. You don't think there would be one fucking turd watching their own YouTube page and going, hey, guys, no one can hear the questions during the interviews. You think that matters? And then there's that one fucking
you had one job to do. Come on.
No. It's that arrogant dick that's running things. He's like, fuck them. Who cares? They don't care what the questions are anyhow.
Adam Wiggins says he said that they're still keeping tabs on him, monitoring his progress.
Oh my God.
BJ mentioned a system multiple times, which was very assuring.
Oh no.
That'll be Thursday. No, wait. Not Thursday show.
You know what? BJ's sounding more and more like
Monday.
BJ's sounding more and more like he came straight out of the fucking ball sack of Greg Berhalter. Like he's a little Greg Berhalter sperm that was somehow populated an egg and then popped out and became his assistant coach. This is despicable. I cannot believe he's used the word system, number one. And number two, I can't believe they said he's monitoring.
Alfred's got us covered here.
BJ Sapsucker sounded like your standard USSF fucking clown. Yeah, no shit. I'm going to go watch that. So I am loaded up to the fucking gills on Monday. And I'm going to take this BJ motherfucker out. If he's the stupid punk ass bitch that he's sounding like right now on this show, I'm going to call his ass out. I'm surprised, Brett. We didn't know because usually those interviews pop up on my feed.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get shit. So I didn't even know about a BJ interview. We all love a BJ interview.
I don't know if if you watch, are you gonna watch it after the show tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Let me know. We can always jump back on and do a recorded stream if you want to.
No, that's okay. I'm saving it up for Monday. Okay. Yeah.
I'm thinking the algorithm, Derek. I'm trying to help us out here.
I know you are.
Always the algorithm, man.
No, my mom's birthday's tomorrow, so it ain't happening.
Hey, look at this guy. Oh, I need to stop sharing because I need to share audio.
Oh, yeah. Lalas didn't say something stupid for once. So, just to give you background, they were talking about Pulisic here and where Pulisic is going. And Lalas kind of lays out the land in a reasonable way of where Pulisic really is in his contract and how that's going to affect where he might go. And I thought he actually thought about this.
Yeah.
He thought about this. He didn't just blurt out, say some stupid shit. He thought about it. And he delivers, I think, a good, concise summary of the challenges that Pulisic's going to face in order to get signed by a good team. Michael Higuera, thank you very much for the $5, brother. I liked it. You look sharp in that outfit, man. For all MLS haters, Apple came out and said MLS is exceeding expectations of subscriptions. Not sure if it was mentioned yet. I mean, I watch, so I guess I'm one of the subscribers. So
yeah, but you got a free subscription though.
No, I'm paying for it now. It was free for a while.
Oh,
yeah,
like 3 months. TSRC is paying for my subscription, so you got that going for me. But I do pay. Yeah. I do pay. In fact, I not only pay for that, but we also pay for full Apple TV access because apparently MLS Season Pass only covers MLS Season Pass.
Yeah, because I get Apple for Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
but it doesn't cover MLS.
Yeah, it was vice versa for me. So, I paid for MLS and I went to watch Ted Lasso and I was like, I got one episode in. What the fuck? So
you've only watched one episode?
Oh no! I have the first 2 seasons.
Oh,
but I went to go rewatch it before the 3rd season started, and we got one episode in, and then all of a sudden Apple's like, "You're gonna have to pay for Apple." I'm like, "I'm already paying for Apple. I'm watching Chicago games on a weekly basis."
Oh, that's weird. Oh,
MLS Season Pass doesn't cover that.
Oh,
you have to pay for the Apple. You have to pay for the Apple service and the MLS Season Plus. So
yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah.
So,
I don't, Michael. I don't think there are a lot of MLS haters on this show.
Oh, on this show?
No, I don't think even watching. I think a lot of people are critical. They have their reasons for being critical. I think MLS haters is a term people use to put a lot of people underneath an umbrella. But I do think that people have legitimate criticisms of MLS and the competition and how the games are played. But I will say this, MLS has come a long way. A long way. If you would have watched MLS 20 years ago, 15 years ago, you would have probably been embarrassed for the most part.
We have a listener of ours that literally goes by the name MLS Hater. So there's at least one on this show.
Well, he's owning it at least.
And I'm a self MLS hater because I happen to follow Chicago Fire.
Well, that's you do that to yourself. That's on you. Because you did it to yourself. Do.
I thought you were about to break out into even
the Radiohead song.
Yeah, it's just the way you hit that note. I thought you were gonna even flow.
No, that's a radio song. Because you do it to yourself. I don't know that song, but it's pretty close to the even flow chords. But by the way, come on, Radiohead.
Yeah,
they stomped the hell all over. I mean, the career is a lot better and longer lasting than Mr. Evenflow there. Pearl Jam. You're not a Radiohead? You're not a Radiohead fan?
I like Radiohead, but you're saying that Radiohead has had a longer and a more successful.
Hell yeah, dude.
Pearl Jam?
Oh, God, yeah. They put an album out every year still, or every 2 years. They've been doing it, and their albums are fucking amazing.
Not saying anything bad.
They do it on their own label. They do it on their own label.
Hey, I dig it. I'm just saying I'm not saying anything bad about them. I just think, well, at least here in the States, I imagine that the Pearl Jam catalog is probably listened to more than, say, Radiohead is.
Maybe so. Radiohead is for music geeks.
I'm not discrediting Radiohead by any means. I like them. I like them a lot.
No, they're really great.
People do still listen to Pearl Jam. Derek had mentioned that tickets when Pearl Jam's coming here to Indy, and he said
$800 ticket.
I feel like I have to stick to my guns and feel like those are like the first couple rows. I do not think those are tickets.
Nope, that was basic seating. Even flow. What's the other one? Jeremy spoken in class or whatever. I think those were the lyrics, right? Whatever he does, that monkey sounds after that part. Hey, I like the song. It's pretty good. The video was pretty haunting and pretty dark, but I mean the song is dark, right?
Yeah, about a kid killing himself in school. Yeah,
in front of the classroom, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty dark situation.
Jeremy spoken class today.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm trying to do my best.
I'm not sure why.
It doesn't matter, Brett. They're expensive.
It was $2.99 for lawn seats. Jesus Christ!
I told you it's expensive.
Man, there are some that goes all. This has to be.
I'm not paying $800 to see anybody, honestly.
No, fuck that. I'll take that $800 and put it towards buying a solid fucking sound system and then just listen to the music at home.
I'd buy one of those realistic sex dolls. Although I don't think 800 covers it. All right, what else we got? Oh, let's play Lalas. Here we go.
Yeah. All right, so we got queued up to 140 here.
Yep, here we go.
Let's listen to Lalas' point that you back. This is history, guys. Take it in. Derek agrees with Lalas.
That I don't know what he's making exactly. Let's say he's making $15 million a year, something ridiculous, whatever it is.
It's not that high, but
not
yeah,
that high at all.
No.
Who is going to pay him that? All right, so it's
Not
easy to say, yeah, he's
Mm-hmm.
going to go to Juventus, or yeah, he's going to go here. Keep in mind, he has 1 year left on his contract.
Yes.
Okay. The
He's making 7.8.
The paradise moment in the modern day is to have a player that is sought after by teams around the world, and certainly teams in Europe that were given the money, that is talented, that is young, and that is out of contract. So there's no transfer fee.
Yes,
I
he's
just
right.
gotta pause it.
He's absolutely fucking right about that. That is, and so what he's saying is, if you're Juventus, are you going to chuck up $5 million a year for him as salary and pay the transfer fee of whatever God that name that is? Because Juventus don't have that kind of money to throw around right now.
They're hurting on cash, yeah.
Now, Newcastle could probably afford it, but do they really need to? Or can they all sit back and go, you know what? We'll play the waiting game. We'll wait a year until he's out of contract and we get him without a transfer fee. And then all we have to pay is his fucking salary. You know what I mean? It makes sense what he's saying.
Well, I guess it depends on the team. Because if
you're playing a game there, yes, because some other team may say, well, fuck you, I don't care, we'll pay for all of it. But who's that team going to be? Who's going to flip that bill?
I guess the big concern is if you're a team that's not the flashy, let's say you have deep pockets, but you're not a flashy club by any means, and you have to go up against all. That'll work, sure.
All right.
And you have to go up against all these other flashy clubs, the Barcelonas, the Real Madrids, the Juventus.
No, they're not. They're not in the fight.
What?
Barcelona and Madrid are not interested in Pulisic.
I'm just saying, if he's free on no transfer and they're only paying salary, I'm sure there are going to be plenty of clubs that are now interested in him. I'm just saying that coming this summer, there's going to be at least a couple of teams that are going to be interested in paying that transfer because they're not going to be able to compete with the flashier clubs.
I mean, that's one way to look at it, but I think the other way to look at it is who has deep enough pockets to not only pay his salary, but also pay the minimum that Chelsea, which I hear is about $20 to $25 million, that they are going to ask for Christian Pulisic.
So with it being his last year of his contract, they may have a requirement like a $20 million or whatever.
Yes,
but they hold no cards at this point.
They don't. They're fucked.
They don't, because they're either going to accept anything, a bid that comes their way, the highest bid at that point, or they're going to lose them on the free, or they're going to try to sell them again on January. But they're going to take even a larger hit then. So they're going to accept the highest bid this summer, or they're going to lose them on the free, which they might do. I mean, that's not going to hurt them by any means. They still have
what's funny?
Running it.
What's funny is if this were a year ago and Pulisic were on another team and he had 1 year left on his contract, and you asked me who was the club who would be willing to fucking overpay and overspend to go get first, I would have said Chelsea would.
Oh, 100%. Maybe Chelsea will make an overpriced bid on themselves.
I guess my question:
we'll pay you $32 million.
Are there any other teams out there as absurd as Chelsea right now who are willing to go, well, I know he's only got a year left, but we're not waiting. We're hopping on this train. We're paying the $25 million, $20 million, and we're going to pay him a $5 million salary?
Yeah, and to your point, he's definitely, and I'm sure Lalas talks about it here because that's what you brought it up before the show. But yeah, he's absolutely going to have to take a pay cut. He's not going to make 7.8, whatever I said earlier,
right,
anywhere else. He hasn't warranted that at the club level.
No,
so that's kind of the dickery behind his time at Chelsea, quite frankly, because when he did play, there were definitely bad moments, but he had a relatively high goal scored, assists, whatever per 90 minutes that he played compared to some of his other teammates who got
great first
more
season
playing time. So it's I don't know. I think there'll be several teams they'll be vying for him, even with the transfer fee this window. But I don't think Chelsea's going to get the money they're expecting
because they're hoping that Chelsea are going to be willing to suck it up and sell him for like 15 or 12, and they're also hoping that Pulisic is going to be willing to suck up his salary and take 2 or 3 mil instead of 5 or 7. So if you can get that kind of deal done, and your Newcastle or your West Ham get it done, but the question is, will Pulisic look his agent straight in the eye and said they offered fucking what? 2.5 mil for my salary? Fuck them. I ain't taking that. Or is Pulisic going to say, I don't care about the money. I got plenty of money. I just want to play. Here's a list of teams I want to play for. You get me on one of these teams and we'll work it out and make it affordable for them. If that's what he's willing to do, suck up his pride or whatever you want to call it, then I think we're going to be fine. And in fact, Lalas goes on and talks about that and says,
"You listening?"
I just basically.
Or is that enough? Is that enough of it?
That's what I summed up that he said. Now it's going to be up to. It's really up to Pulisic at this point. He's going to be the one that's going to either have to suck it up and say, "Listen, there's no way that I can ask for that salary when Chelsea are asking for $20 to $18 million, $25 million, I've heard too, for my transfer. I'm going to have to suck up because there's so few clubs that can afford to pay what Chelsea pays."
Well, the salary alone, he's got to accept that because, as we pointed out throughout our conversation, Chelsea's overpaid everything.
Yes.
They just want to get the players in there that they want. They don't care what they're paying. They got the money behind it. I mean, they had what a Russian oligarch originally running it. Now they got a bajillionaire American running it. So they've always had the money to just overspend on it. And yet he's got to accept the fact that going to a different club is gonna warrant him getting a salary deduction. Now, how deep of a deduction is going to depend on the club he's going to, but the 20-25 million that Chelsea's asking or going to be asking for is just laughable. Because again, I agree. They don't have any of the cards. They're going to take whatever they can get.
This is a preliminary number I heard, and I thought, good luck with that. 20 million? No,
not at all.
No way. In fact, he's not the only player they're going to have to dump. They're going to have to dump some other ones too. And they're not going to get top dollar for them because everybody out there realizes that Chelsea fucked itself. They are.
Oh, no, there's definitely going to be a fire sale of Chelsea players.
Yeah. And so
100%.
They're going to have to sell on discount, period. And I hope Chelsea are smart enough to realize that and don't get too prideful about it. And then they end up with a 36-man roster again and don't know what to do with most of the players.
Well, it will definitely suck for an American standpoint that if Pulisic doesn't get sold in the summer, that he's predominantly going to be riding pine for the entire season, and that's going to hurt. But then again, he will have the freedom to choose moving forward.
Yeah,
we do have another window by Christmas time and everything. So
Diego makes a good point here. That was the one line in the whole thing I hated.
Yeah.
Why is he going to go someplace else and make less money? We just explained why. And
why is he going to go someplace else and make less money? Who is going to pay him what Chelsea is paying him? And if
we disagree with half
Christian looks at this situation from a business perspective, why would you go anywhere else? Now, there's the competitive side and playing consistently, and that absolutely has value and draw. But in this situation right now, you're still playing for one of the great clubs in the world. They're not going to have to worry tremendously about the fighting on multiple fronts.
Okay,
And
stop it.
You still get
So this is the problem with where Lalas is going with this, and 29 is absolutely correct to point this out. I mean, does Lalas think that Pulisic isn't the kind of kid that wants to play ball?
Yeah,
because
he's happy to ride Pine 90% of the games.
He hates it.
He's getting paid good money to do it, though.
Pulisic absolutely hates riding Pine. He's a fucking warrior. He wants to go out there and play. So if Lalas doesn't understand that basic idea about Pulisic, like Pulisic ain't like, oh, as long as you're paying me, I'll just sit on the bench and fucking whack my fucking schlong. That's like not Pulisic.
Come on.
Yeah, this ain't Horvath's situation here. I guess now the more I think about it, that is kind of irritating. Thank you, Diego.
Yeah.
Now I'm irritated, Diego. Well done.
Yes, he's got to look at it that way. That there's no clubs out there that are gonna front the money for him. And it'd be one thing if he was at Chelsea and he was scoring goals left and right, and he just had a season, a ridiculous season that he could have those bargaining chips with some club saying, hey, I want X dollars. It's not going to happen for the most part.
You know who did that? Bobby Wood. Bobby Wood told Hamburg to suck his fucking Hawaiian ass cock. He said, I ain't going anywhere. You can ride me Pine all season. I ain't going anywhere. You're paying my fucking shit every last dime. You owe me. Huh?
Now he's where? New England?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went to RSL after that and then New England. Yeah. He plays. He scores.
He took a pay cut.
Yeah, he took the pay cut, but guess what? Before he took that pay cut, he took every last living fucking penny off of Hamburg that they owed him. He wasn't going to leave because they were going to sell him and transfer him and not, so they didn't have to pay him, right?
Yeah.
No one would. And he said, fuck that. I'm staying right here, bitches. Remember that Hamburg had pretty much blackballed because when they went down that year, Hamburg went down to Bundesliga. Bobby Wood had a escape clause, and he fucking used it and forced a loan to Hanover, who also went down the next season, right? So Hamburg never forgave him for that. So after the loan, Hamburg's like, fuck you, you ain't playing. Go hang out with the 2 team. And he's like, fuck, I'll go hang out with the 2 team. He's like, or we can transfer you. He said, fuck off. Fuck your transfer. I'm staying right here. I'm getting paid all the fucking dime. You promised me you were going to pay me when I signed you when you were in the Bundesliga. And I want all that fucking cash. Because his contract basically had no pay deduction after being relegated. Because Hamburg didn't think there was any way in hell they were going to be relegated. So they didn't really have clauses like that for some of the players they signed. And so he wanted every last dime. So, yeah, Bobby Wood took those motherfuckers to the bank. And they hate him in Hamburg for that, by the way. You fucking hate him. And they didn't play him. They played him, I think, a total of 15 minutes the whole season. That's it. He rode Pine and was with the 2 teams.
I'm surprised he got that.
Yeah. All right.
He even Pine him at that point. He just benches ass.
Yeah.
Hey, we're only an hour and 45 minutes into it. Let's cover our Twitter questions because we've been slacking on those recently.
All right.
All right. Not see. All right.
Okay. They banned Brooks. I knew it. They will never bring him back. You're absolutely correct. They did ban him. They better admit it. And this whole system talk bullshit that BJ fucking blowjob Callahan's giving out right now upsets me thoroughly. BJ, if you use the fucking word system again, I'm going to fucking jack you in the fucking face.
In Minecraft.
Punk ass bitch. Do not use the word system and do not say you are monitoring his fucking progress. We all know who John Brooks is and what he can do. Motherfucker, shut your fucking pie hole.
Next when for the Gold Cup, it's going to be like, he's not in the best shape right now. And I don't think he's going to fit our system, but we're keeping an eye on him.
He can't play in high line. Just say you don't like him, bitch.
Yeah.
Because Tim Ream can't play in a high line either.
He was very mean.
Man, I can't believe he used the word system. I don't know if people just said that because they're trying to rile me up.
Could be. We don't know. We'll find out, I guess. Monday should be a fun show if he did say system, guys.
If I watch that interview and he doesn't use the word system, I'm going to be pissed at some of you motherfuckers. Because that really irritated me. That irritated me that he used those words. All right. I knew a BJ was coming. A pun, that is. I like it. It is about as good as we could hope. Maybe Brooks over Zimmerman. But if Brooks goes to the Gold Cup, I'm fine with it. Hopefully this BJ isn't sloppy. We need some strong tactics. A poor BJ performance could be hard to swallow. Here we go again. Here we go with the BJ stuff. Listen, all I want to know is if he used the word system.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll look at the chat, guys. If you want to verify that he actually said system.
If he used the word system, like Brooks don't fit in our system, we're not sure if he fits in our system. Brooks got a long fucking dong, and we got a small hole for our system. It's a very small hole. Get around the computer. Get your. Oh yeah, we already know this. Thank you, by the way, Desi.
Desi. BJ.
Yep. Thank you, Desi. We appreciate that. All the hard work you put into that.
Mm-hmm.
It's appreciated, truthfully.
Adam Wiggins says, here's what I think about BJ. That brother should be flipping burgers.
Flipping burgers.
Yeah. Hey, Craig, you're back.
No kidding.
Seen you in a while. I says,
you heard it here first.
Greg will be back. You heard it here first. Hey, Elon Musk, why is this account coming up on my page? I don't even follow them.
They're very dismissive. I don't remember us being dismissive of MLS. I don't think we are.
Craig doesn't follow us. Craig, why are we showing up in your feed? You can at least follow us, man. Come on. Doesn't hurt to follow me.
Hey, he's friends with Meg.
Well, Meg follows him. I'm not sure why.
Yeah. Hey, you know the song that's been in my head for 4 days?
What's that?
And I can't get it out of my head. Can't get it out of my head. That's not the song that was stuck in my head.
I was going to say, are you singing the song right now?
That is a ELO song. Can't get it out of my head, by the way. There's a song for everything. People say things around the office, and I'm like, oh, that's a song. I do it all the time.
I do that with movie references.
Yeah, you do. The song that is somehow in my head, just because I had to do I went to Dick's Sporting Goods. All right?
With BJ?
No. With my dick. And why? Because I bought a new dartboard, a professional one, and I bought new darts, and I bought the whole setup. I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm a very, very, very good dart player.
No,
that's shit we used to play back when I was in college. In fact, I won the IU championship, dart championship, club, whatever it was, championship, twice, 2 years, sophomore year, junior.
How many shots did you do between your legs?
None. This is the real deal.
Yeah.
So I finally said, that's something that'll keep me busy. And it is a little bit of exercise since I don't have my dog go on walks anymore, because you got to go throw darts, then go to the board, pick them off the board, go back to your play, throw them again, go back to the board. Gets my steps in. This is what I'm saying. Steps, even though it's short.
3 steps a piece. Yeah, I get you.
Well, it is about, I believe, 7 feet from the wall. So it's a few steps. It's not a lot. But, it's more action than I've been getting since my dog died.
2 steps to the wall. Yeah.
Yeah. But the song that's been in my head, and this is fucking weird, dude. And since I went to Dick's Sporting Goods, was Islands in the Stream. Islands in the stream, that is what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world, because we rely on each other. You know who that was? Dolly fucking Parton.
Didn't
Kenny Rogers.
Fugees sing that as well?
Maybe. They did a cover of Islands in the Stream? Crazy.
I don't know if they did that. Maybe they just sampled that one lyric. They can rely on each
other. Maybe. Anyhow, I was thinking to myself,
Maybe it's Fiji's.
That's a kind of corny song, but it's not poorly written. And the fucking vocals are really solid. And I'm like, it's got a good hook, which is why I can't get the fuck out of my brain. So I'm walking around all day with this fucking song in my head. Islands in the stream. And I'm like, why won't it go away?
That's it. Yeah, get a superstar. That's who.
Okay.
That's who I was mixing it up. It's not Fiji's by any means.
Good point. And then I thought about the metaphor, islands in a stream. I guess there are islands in a stream. You know, if you see a stream, there are these little spots. And the whole song's about, you know, they're kind of the island in the stream of what is the world for one another. You know, they're there to be the island for one another, to be the resting place as the world goes streaming by. And I thought, you know, it's pushing the limits of metaphor, but it ain't garbage. So I got to give Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton some credit for doing a decent job on that song. But I wish it would go away out of my brain, frankly. That's what I would wish it would do. But anyhow, I have to share that with all of you.
So throw in some Macarena or some tub thumping from Chumbawamba.
Dude, no.
Get a shittier song stuck in your head.
No, none of those songs are good enough to get stuck in my head. They won't. Sorry.
All
right.
That worm will wiggle its way in. Don't worry.
They are called earworms, by the way. And at least it's not the one I had for 5 years in a row. And I woke up every fucking morning like it was Groundhog fucking Day, dude. Every morning. I woke up and the first song, like straight into consciousness, was Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Da, 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 da. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John, which is a really good song. But I don't want to wake up to it 5 years in a row because I'm not Bill Murray and this is not Groundhog Day. Christ all fucking mighty. I got a real problem, Brett, with earworms my whole life.
Yeah.
And the one I had as a kid for the longest time period, I went to sleep for 3 years, rolling my head on my pillow going, dun, 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. The Cars song. It wasn't a Cars song. The name of the song was Cars. It's by Gary, whatever his name was. Gary Glitter. I almost said Gary Glitter.
So I have this problem going to sleep too, where my head hits the pillow and I immediately fall asleep. So
I don't have that problem anymore. No, I'm with you. Dude, my head hits the pillow and I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm gone.
He absolutely hates that about me. That I just like literally like head pillow. Snoring away, you know.
Well, that's because there's no chance for any cock and dong action, you know. It's like it's over. It's like I can't even tempt this motherfucker.
What, you're saying no? Fine.
You're not even saying no. You're just saying I'm asleep. Good night. And she's like, but wait, what about pillow talk? And you're like, snoozing. Gary Newman, thank you.
There's no chance.
Gary Glitter, I believe, was a child molester.
Yeah, let's not bring Gary Glitter back up here, okay? I don't know if we're talking about Gary Glitter, but
yeah, okay. All right, well, everybody, thank you for coming out tonight. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you for doing everything that you do to help this show continue to thrive and survive. And we are we're inching towards, I think, over 700,000 views total for the show or something like that, which is nice.
People really
I guess
dig the stepsister talk.
Hey, I try to bring it every night, and we did recommend on the last show that if you want any advice about whether or not you should bang your stepsister,
nobody sent me shit.
Nobody sent us any photos. So here's my hot stepsister. Here's her half nude. Here's her wearing a bikini. She really likes the Beastie Boys, but her other problem is that she doesn't shave her pubic area. Nothing like that. No details. So we can't help you. We can't help you be the best you if you don't share the information that we need to help you. Now, if none of you are currently in that particular situation, then that's okay. But then here's what I would do. I would pass along to others that maybe not like our show, but you could let them know we consult people who are attracted to their stepsisters, and let them know we're here for them. Okay, well, until the next time on the Straight Red Card, I have nothing to say about your stepsister at this point until I see her. Good night.
But she's a trap. She's an unsung novel. Turn a lap and get your whole world dazzled on the line, or a phone call with or without one.